Welcome to the Greg's Review Show. Today we're gonna get into romance fraud, hit record scams. Thumbs up, like and share this video. Please support us through Cash App. That's GRC $man trap. Any donation will be greatly appreciated. 50 cents, the dollar, whatever God puts on your heart. Please help support us through the Greg's Review Show through Cash App again. That's GRC $man trap. Thumbs up, like and share this video. Without further ado, we're going to get into this romance scams and some of the things you can do to be careful of and how it's affecting some of our everyday life situations. Here we go now.
Bigger than bank fraud. It is even bigger than healthcare fraud. And if you're saying, I would never fall for a love scam, well, then maybe count yourself among one of the lucky, because based on the FTC's warning, it is happening to far more people than you think. In fact, 80% more people in 2021 were swindled by wannabe Romeos than the year before. And then check out this number. It climbs to 600% when compared to 2017. In dollar amounts, it means $547 million were stolen by love scammers just last year. That is over $500 million. And in the past 5 years, regular people just looking for love have lost $1.3 billion. And it's not just a few people losing a lot of money either. The average person lost about $2,400. So that's hundreds of thousands of victims, people being taken for a very expensive ride. But why are they being so easily taken? We all know the con artists are out there. I mean, right now, one of the most popular Netflix movies on out there is a documentary called The Tinder Swindler, a true story about a serial romance scammer. So shouldn't people know better? The problem is the internet and online dating. While it has done wonders for helping people find that special someone, it's also made it much easier for crooks to find that special someone. They can cast a wider net, they can pose as anyone they want, and they can learn everything about you before you even think about swiping right. I want to bring in someone who unfortunately knows all about this and all too well. Rebecca D'Antonio lost $100,000 to an online dating con man. Rebecca, thank you so much for joining us tonight. Tell me what happened to you.
Well, firstly, thank you for having me. I had never tried online dating before, and I had never even known that romance scams were a thing. So, of course, when it happened to me, it took a while to sort of figure out that that's what had actually happened. A friend of mine had decided that she was going to try online dating, and she had never done it before. And since I hadn't been in a relationship in a while, I thought, well, this is, feels like a new thing. Let me give it a shot. And so I signed up on a site that I knew to be, or at least thought to be, reputable, which was OkCupid. And I knew it to be reputable because I know friends that have met their significant others and are married with children now. So I thought that, okay, well, I'm going to be really smart about this. I really don't want a one-night stand or, to be a notch in someone's bedpost. So I'm going to basically put in my profile that this is the box that I come in. This is what I expect in a relationship. This is what I won't put up with in a relationship. And what I didn't realize at the time, because of course awareness is key, was that I was creating kind of a roadmap around what would have been red flags for me. And so one of the details that I actually put in my profile, because of course in developing feelings for someone and moving forward with a relationship, I didn't want to have unrealistic expectations of each other, was that I love children, but I can't biologically have children. So essentially what had happened was, in order to get to know each other and chat on the platform, you have to both like each other. And so enter Matthew into the picture, who was a single father of a young son. His wife had passed away a couple years before from cancer. He was originally from Australia, who had been adopted into the United States. So he had a bit of an accent, which of course I loved. And he was having some trouble with the platform, so we moved off the platform and started talking on the phone, emailing, sending text messages, using Facebook Messenger quite a bit. And we had really hit it off because, as I not so soon learned, actually, this scam had taken place over the course of a year, that they know what to say to disarm you. They know what to say to make you feel valued. This is their bread and butter. So they're very practiced at it.
Right. And you gave them that roadmap, right, Rebecca? So he knew exactly how to push your buttons and where your vulnerabilities were. So as I understand it, they mined some photos from a New England attorney and used those photos to say, this is who I am, a nice looking guy. Yep. But the big question I think a lot of people would have is, it's totally understandable that you could fall in love. I mean, words are worth, everything. However, you'd never met him. You'd never seen him in person. And then the requests for money started coming. So how did you accommodate for that and think, yeah, this is okay?
Well, we had decided that we would meet after his next business trip, which he was actually taking his son on. And he was an oil magistrate, an oil contractor. So a lot of his travel was international.
Election alert. Election day is on November 5th. Who you vote for is private, but if you vote is public information. After this election, your voting record will be updated, and your friends and family will be able to look up how often you vote. So vote on or by Tuesday, November 5th.
This is how to get in shape fast. This is your body. These balloons represent your internal organs, and these.
And so while he was on that business trip, they looked for that hook. They looked for that, what's that thing that is going to make someone send a little bit of money? And for me, unfortunately, it was the child. He had presented me with what was, to me, a very plausible scenario, which is that the cards that he was using for his expenses had stopped working. And I had traveled internationally, and you can notify the bank 5 times that you're traveling and something like that still happened. It had happened to me. So to me, that was very plausible. And I had asked all the questions one would ask, like, gee, isn't there someone else that you could appeal to? We're very, relatively new in this relationship. We still haven't met yet in person. This is a work trip. Can't your work help you? And of course, he's an independent contractor, so that complicated matters.
They have an answer for everything, don't they?
He did. He had an answer for all the things. And the hook that got me was the fact that his son was with him. Was I going to be the horrible person that left a child in a bad situation?
Of course. Again, pressing your buttons because he knew about your desire to have children and couldn't have them. So here's the big question. At some point, you realized that you were in the hole for $100,000 and you started to recognize that this was a scam. When you confronted him, as I understand, you've been very public about this, you told him that you were at such a depth in your life because of this that you were contemplating suicide. What was his response?
I will never forget, we were speaking on the phone. It was the last time that we spoke. And the level of indifference in his voice when he said this to me, I'll never forget it. He said, well, you have to do what you have to do.
It's unbearable to think that. Did anyone ever help you? Did anyone ever trace who it was? Did you find out who it was? And I guess most importantly, did you get your money back?
Well, I had at the time that this was all kind of wrapping up and I was entering the next phase of my nightmare, which ended up being bankruptcy. It was a friend of mine that, sort of held my hand through it all. And with her, I became braver to let a few more of people know what had actually happened, because my friends knew that there was this relationship. What they didn't know was this hidden financial dynamic, because it is very much an emotional and financial rape. I really needed that hand holding. I really needed that shoulder and that hand up to have the courage to take the next steps. And so I had friends had found me a wonderful support group called Scam Haters United. And with them, they were the ones that actually, because they had been through the same thing, were able to help me to digest and to sort of put it all together, what actually happened to me. And then from there, I went through the bankruptcy process. I never did get my money back from the scammers. It's very hard to do that with international law and other obstacles to overcome.
Was it determined that it was an international syndicate? So many of them are based out of Nigeria. They're actually criminal gangs that pose as a lover.
Yes. It was a criminal gang out of Nigeria, and they were using the scam. They have a playbook that they basically use to scam people. And so that's what is believed to have happened, that they were using this scam playbook to swindle me out of my money. I did get money back, but it wasn't from the scammers. So Western Union and MoneyGram, which are wire and conduits, were found to be at fault by the FTC and the DOJ, and there's been class action lawsuits, and I am part of both class actions. The Western Union one is finished, and the MoneyGram one is in process, and I have...
Well, there's a little. It's a little, right?
Yeah, it's a little.
But it's not that... It's not the heartache. You can never get that back. Rebecca, thank you for sharing this. I know you share this so that other people can be aware that there are real victims that can fall for this. But I really appreciate you telling your story tonight. Thank you so much.
As you can see, YouTubers, you got to be careful out there of the online scammers. These guys are out here. They're swindling people out of money. As you can see, this lady lost $100,000 and was swindled out of through this online dating scams. Ladies and gentlemen, please never send any money to these scammers. Never give them personal information. Never tell them where you're at, where you live at, where you work. Never give them your social security number and personal information. Never give these cats that. And most important thing, again, never give these guys any money. I don't care if it's a nickel or $2. Once you start doing that, they'll make you out of a mule, and they'll start just getting money out of you constantly. Most of these guys are overseas, like she said, Nigeria, Uganda. Those are hot spots. Even over in the Asian countries, Taiwan, and a lot of these other countries, also scammers there. So again, thumbs up, like and share this video. Someone needs to hear this message about these online scammers out of there. And again, please support us through Cash App. That's GRC $mantrap. All donations would be greatly appreciated. Again, thank you again for tuning in to Greg's Review Show. Hope your day is going well. And ladies and gentlemen, please beware out there when you're out there on these dating sites, because it's all sorts of people out there. God bless you and have a wonderful, wonderful day. Take care.